My name is James Casey. This is my second installment of little instruction videos how to cook Cajun. Today we're going to be making some Cajun butter beans. Now, the ingredients you're going to need are some large limas, some garlic, some onion, my basic seasoning that I always use, I showed you last time, salt, black pepper, red pepper. The only thing I'm going to do different with the beans is add a little bit of paprika, and I like to put a little liquid smoke in there too because it just adds to the flavor. You're going to need a stick of butter. This is actually a ham that I had cooked yesterday. We got some leftovers. I didn't want to waste it. This is the ham bone. We have about, I'm going to say 3 pounds of some smoked pork sausage, some Cajun sausage, and you're going to need a little bit of some veggie oil to put down in the pot there to start your vegetables, just a little bit. Now I'm going to do like I did last time and just do little sections. I don't have my daughter with me this time, so you're going to have to bear with me. So first thing we're going to do, same thing as before, you always want to start with a little base. You're going to cut your veggies up, throw them in the pan with a little bit of oil. Once they get cooked just nice and a little bit transparent, just a little bit, the onions, add the sausage in there. And you don't want to cook the sausage a whole lot. You just want to basically just kind of warm it up and get it ready for the rest of the ingredients, because the sausage is going to cook in the pot when you put your water boiling and everything else in there. So the ham and everything's already cooked. I like to put the bone in before I put the ham, or or the beans or anything, just to kind of season my broth a little bit before I add the beans. A lot of people pre-soak their beans, and I don't do that. It does save time a little bit because it makes the beans cook a little faster and whatnot, and people believe this and that about whatever. We're not going to get into that. I'm going to cook them my way, and I'm going to show you how it's done. I'll be right back with everything started, and then we're going to go from there. Alright, I'm back. We've got the veggies cut up, put in the pot. Put a little vegetable oil in there. I got the parsley in there with it. Man, I wish somebody would invent a scratch and sniff screen, because y'all would be in heaven right now. It's smelling good already, and I ain't even really started to get down with it. So this is your garlic, onions, a little bit of olive oil, got some parsley in there. Now, next step, I got the sausage already all chopped up and everything. I want to get that in the pot. Alright, wash that. Now, this is going to suck some of that fat and juice out of that sausage while you're sauteing it with them veggies too, and it's going to just add another dimension, a little flavor. That's what I'm all about, is a flavor. So that's why I like to kind of pre-cook the sausage just a little bit. You don't have to do it a lot, just enough to get some of that juice in the bottom of the pot. So I'm going to let that get going real good. I already hear it sizzling pretty good. Put them veggies in there. The next step we're going to do after that is, when we come back, I'm going to start getting the water in the pot and everything, and then we're going to put the ham bone in there. Now it's a pretty big bone. I'll show it to you when we get back so I can open it up real good, but I left some of the meat on there, like I said, to let it fall apart in the pot, but that bone is going to give it a real good flavor. I'm not going to add the rest of the ham until a little later in the process, because that ham's already cooked real good, so it shouldn't need a lot of cooking. That's going to be one of the last things I throw in there. But anyway, after we put the water in the ham bone, we're going to get the beans and everything in there. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this butter later too. That's why it's called butter beans. Now, when we come back, I'm going to have the water and everything in there after I saute these sausage and veggies some more. Then I'm going to get ready to do all the rest, the ham bone and what I just said. So bear with me. I'm the only one here right now, so we'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Again, this is James Casey. I'm fixing to start with the next step. It's going to be putting the ham bone in there and getting it boiling good. Now, I got some water in the pot. You don't want to fill it up a whole lot. I put it about 3/4 of the way full because you're going to be adding some more ingredients still. Now, it's just fixing to come to a boil. It hasn't started yet, but it's alright because once I put that ham bone in there, that's when I really want it to boil real good. But now you're going to lose some water throughout the process just because of evaporation and everything. So I like to keep a big cup of water handy just in case you need to dump a little in there as you go. Now this is my ham bone. Now I left a lot of meat on there just for the sake of having some more meat in there for the flavor and the seasoning and everything. It's a pretty big ham bone, you know. That marrow is going to be real good in there. That gives it a good flavor. Now, alright. Right now, after I put that ham bone in, what I like to do is I don't soak my beans or anything, but I do sort through them because every once in a while you'll find the occasional, pebble or maybe a little piece of dirt or something in there, and I rinse them a little bit. But while I'm waiting for this ham bone to get boiling real good, that's what I'm gonna do. So whenever we come back from this ham bone boiling real good, I'm gonna have the beans all nice and rinsed off. Okay, the ham bone is gonna be boiling good. Might have a little less water in there, but don't pay no mind to that. Like I said, you're gonna lose a little bit of water. You can add as you go. After I put the beans in from the next step, we're gonna go to the seasoning, and let me see. Then after that, we're gonna put your butter. I'm gonna show you what to do with that. That's why we call them butter beans. Now, I never said this was the healthiest dish, which I'm not the poster boy for your local gym anyway, but it's okay to indulge every once in a while. But so anyway, that's gonna be our next thing. When we come back, I'm gonna have the ham bone boiling real good, put the beans in there, and then I'm gonna go from there and show you what to do. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, now we're back. Ready to do one of our last steps. We're not quite done yet, but now, as you can see, I got the beans rinsed off and everything sorted through. I like to put them in the pot layer. Just it's a good little place to put them until you dump them in. Now what I'm gonna do is I got the bone boiling real good with the rest of the stuff in there, sausage and veggies and everything. It's making a little stock. I'm going to put a little bit of seasoning, okay, and some liquid smoke. Now remember, you can always add, but you can't take out. So you don't need a lot. Plus the ham that I made, it already has a little seasoning in it. So just the basics again. You got red pepper, black pepper, and a little bit of salt there. So now let's see, a little bit. Now this is a pretty big pot, so a little bit is relative to what you're cooking. I don't like to put a limit or a actual dosage or size or anything on anything really when I'm cooking, because you can't really do that unless you are cooking the same amount of food that I am, or in the same pot. It's all different, so you just do what you feel is right. Season it to taste. Don't just put a little bit at first and you come back check it. But anyway, I'm going to let that seasoning get down in there a little bit. Now if it needs more, I'll come back and add some more later. It's no big deal. Now this particular Cajun dish, I'm cooking some butter beans. So for this one, you don't need a roux. Okay, now not every Cajun dish starts with a roux. Okay, this one is everything that I put in the pot is going to basically make its own juice, own broth. It's gonna come out really good. Now it's ready for the beans. So I'm going to take the beans over there. I'm going to put them down in the pot. Alright. Now remember, you're going to lose a little bit of water while you're cooking. So it's okay if your water is, coming up high. See, that's why the reason that I don't fill my pot all the way up. See, I only filled it about 3/4 and it's already right there almost to the top. So, but man, it's looking good already. Now, alright, I'm going to let this boil some more. Let them beans get nice and tender. And what I'm going to do is, when they start getting tender, is I'm going to scoop them up to the side and kind of start crushing them, just a few of them a little bit, okay? And the reason I do that with my beans is because when you crush them, it releases some of that meat and a little bit of that starch in there. It thickens up your gravy real good, and it also adds to the flavor. It really does. Everything I do to my food, it has a reason for it. I might not be a conventional mainstream cook, but hey, shoot, I can make anything taste good, man. I can cook, believe me. Never trust a skinny cook. That's all I got to say. And I am definitely not skinny. But the butter goes in after you do that. After you crush up some of your beans in there. And now I use a whole stick for this pot because I mean this is a very big pot. You might not look it on the video, but it's a large pot. So a stick of butter might seem like a lot, but for cooking this amount of food, that's perfect. And usually when I'm doing cooking something, and my daughter's not here, which this is the case today, I'm going to add a little bit of hot sauce, but I haven't decided which one I'm going to use yet. So we'll get to that because I don't put that in until after I put my butter anyway. And then one of the last things I'm going to do is put the rest of the meat there. That's the ham. But we will be back, and I'll be adding the butter, the hot sauce, the ham, and the broth will be nice and thick. I'm going to go ahead and put on some rice right now and cook the side dish. The side dish for today is going to be some peas and carrots. I'm going to heat them up, put a little bit of Tony Chachere's in there, just a little bit, just to add a little flavor to my peas and carrots there. But we will return, and it should be the last step, and possibly plating. We'll have to see how far along the beans are whenever I put the butter and everything. They might need to cook a little more, but we will be back. Alright, we're back with the last step. Next one we're going to do, we're going to come back, show it all on the plate. As you can see, it's going to come out and it's getting nice and thickened up. I took the bone out, all the marrow boiled out of it. Meat, all the little tidbits fell off in there. It served its purpose. You don't want to leave it in there too long after all the meat and everything falls off, because the beans are going to thicken up, and it's just going to be in the way. So you want to take that bone out of there once you get your use out of it there. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is show you what to do with the butter, okay, and the beans. And I forgot a step last time, was just the liquid smoke, which I take and just put a few dashes in, because it's pretty strong stuff. So you know, about 3 good little squirts should do you. Now, what you want to do now, since it's starting to get nice and thickened up, take your spoon. This is what I do anyway. Turn it and just start pulling some of them beans up and smashing them on the side of the pot. You don't have to do a whole lot of them, just enough to get that broth a little bit thicker. And I've already done a few to thicken it up before I turn the camera back on, so just to save a little time on the video. But anyway, now that your broth is thickening up real nice, you see you lost a lot of water there after evaporation and then pulling that bone out and everything. So you're going to need to add a little bit more, not a whole lot, just to keep it from getting too thick and sticking to the bottom, because this you do leave this cook for a little bit. That bone's been in there boiling for a good hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, maybe even longer. I'm going to say probably about two hours. But from start to finish, you know, the whole process, usually My beans take me about 3.5 hours of cook time doing them this way. Sometimes a little longer. It depends on the, how high you got your heat and how quick you want them to cook or whatever. I'm not in no hurry, so. But your butter, okay, I just take it, open it, stick that in there. Now, I'm going to get that a little bit chopped up. Alright. I'm going to mix it in them beans. Ooh, now it's starting to smell better. Oh yeah. Alright. And, oh, that's nice and thickened up. I'm going to add a little more water because I'm going to let this boil some more. This water's going to come out of it anyway. So, I'm going to put it back up to about where it was. Okay. Thin them out a little bit. Let them boil down again. It's just going to keep concentrating that broth is all it's going to do. So, it's going to keep it nice and thick after it boils some more. So, alright. That was the last step of the beans. Let me see something here. Take me a little taste. Oh, that is some good stuff. Now I've decided today throw a little Tabasco in there. Now you can use whatever hot sauce you want. If you're not a big hot sauce fan, you don't even have to put any. But I don't put a lot. I just put a few little dashes because it does give it a little flavor, and it's already seasoned. So 1, 2, 3, and I smell it already. Now, once that boils down real good, thickens up again, all that butter gets nice and infused in there. That's why we call them butter beans. Alright, now I'm going to come back. I'm going to plate it up. Everything's going to be done. I've already done my side. It's just peas and carrots with a little seasoning in there. And I got my rice going right now. And we will be back. Well, alright. Here we go. Everything's done. We're back with the plating and everything. As you can see, it's done got nice and thick. What I did was I just turned it off and let it sit for a little bit to have all them seasonings settle in there and all the flavors soak up with each other and have everything marry in the pot. Then let them get good and flavorful with everything in there, and put my peas and carrots on. Made me some rice. And I'm fixing to plate everything up and eat. Now you just put your little bit of rice in there. Just a little bit of beans, and make sure you get a lot of that good meat. I added the rest of that ham while we were taking our little break there. Get a lot of that sausage. I love that sausage. That smoked sausage is really good. It's just pork smoked sausage. Alright. Alright, get my other plate here. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. And there you have it. That is supper. Peas and carrots, Louisiana style Cajun butter beans. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.
1, 2, 3, 4.